Virtual Driving Center. Here we use computer simulations of a wide range of driving situations to continually advance automotive technology. The first diesel truck was introduced in 1923. But diesel didn't really take off until Bosch brought diesel fuel injection to series production in 1927. In 1936, the first diesel passenger vehicle was launched with Bosch fuel injection. Since then, Bosch has been the worldwide leader in the diesel systems market and has continued to use its innovative strength to give fresh ideas to the diesel sector. Bosch's 3S program was started to make driving safer, cleaner, and more economical. Our electronically controlled diesel direct fuel injection was a quantum leap forward that, together with Bosch injection systems, has made a major contribution to the success of modern diesel engines, including world records in motorsports. With this technology, a diesel engine uses around 30% less fuel on average than a gasoline engine with manifold injection. That means lower CO2 output as well. Now we want to give you an overview of the Bosch fuel injection and exhaust gas treatment systems that are making diesel more and more eco-friendly and increasing driving pleasure at the same time. We call them clean diesel systems from Bosch, and they're really something else. Since 1990, for example, we've been able to reduce the toxic emissions from diesel operation by more than 90%. Based on a uniform principle, Bosch provides fuel injection for the entire spectrum of diesel engines, from 15 to over 500 kilowatts of power per cylinder. Come and join me on a journey into diesel, or more precisely, into the common rail system from Bosch. Where we are now, deep inside, the Bosch Electronic Diesel Control Unit, or EDC. Here is where all the information supplied by the vehicle is translated into control commands. Startup actions also begin here. EDC ensures that start conditions are ideal. First of all, the correct temperature must be maintained in the combustion chamber. To achieve this, the EDC coordinates with the Bosch glow system. The diesel fuel does not ignite until heat and pressure levels are just right. Contrary to the gasoline engine, the diesel engine has no spark plugs. For a cold start, the Bosch ignition system has to bring the combustion chamber up to the right temperature. But with Bosch modern glow systems, this takes less than 2 seconds. For ignition, the engine needs oxygen, among other things. The control unit makes sure that exactly the right mixture of air mass and fuel mass is supplied for each ignition, allowing the fuel to burn completely and cleanly. Now let's get out of here. I'm here in the air intake tract. This is the air mass meter. It measures the air entering the combustion chamber exactly, so that the control device can precisely dose the fuel mass needed for injection. Moving on now to the throttle device. It can, if necessary, throttle the airflow. For example, when low torque levels require only a small amount of fuel to be injected and a high rate of exhaust gas recirculation is necessary for avoiding the production of nitric oxide. To ensure that enough exhaust mass is recirculated, fresh air must be throttled to increase the pressure differential. But why direct exhaust gas right back into the engine when it's just come out of there? When the fresh air coming in contains exhaust gas, the peak combustion temperature is lowered. And when this sinks, less nitric oxide is produced. But too much exhaust mixed into the fresh air intake isn't good either, so the throttle valve and the exhaust gas recirculation valve coordinate their actions. And what regulates their teamwork? Exactly. The combustion chamber is now tempered. The air is on its way. So what's missing? The fuel. We're here in the fuel tank. The diesel fuel is filtered and then sent through the priming pump and onto the high-pressure pump. Let's go straight to the CP high-pressure pump from Bosch. What happens here? The fuel is compressed to an injection pressure level of up to 2000 bar. This high pressure is what enables fuel to be injected with such a fine spray and uniform dispersion into the combustion chamber, which is the prerequisite for efficient and clean combustion. The diesel fuel is conducted under high pressure into the rail, a storage unit. From the storage area, fuel lines lead to the injectors of the individual engine cylinders. Would you like to see how the Bosch injector works? Modern Bosch injectors with solenoid valves or piezo actuators move the nozzle needle so quickly that the injection procedure can be divided into several pre- and main injections, short or long in duration, so that each individual injection can be customized. The injection process is always implemented so that the engine runs quietly, cleanly, and with low levels of fuel consumption. Pressure and injection are important in enabling fuel to combust completely, so that as much kinetic energy as possible can be obtained. What happens after combustion? The EDC control unit monitors the composition of exhaust gas and controls processes in the exhaust gas tract. The common rail system provides efficient combustion of diesel fuel with few residual toxic emissions. But can we stop there? Bosch has systems with which exhaust gas can be made even cleaner. Each instance of combustion produces this type of soot particle. The Bosch particle filter can retain them almost completely. The Bosch differential pressure sensor calculates the difference in pressure via measurements taken before and after the particle filter. This allows the EDC control device to detect when the filter is full and must be cleaned. It should be ready about now. The EDC control unit ensures that the stored particles are burned up. For example, by initiating a late fuel injection, the combustion of which raises the exhaust gas temperature, which in turn allows the stored soot to be introduced into the combustion process. But there are other new developments that also help to drastically reduce toxic emissions. For example, AdBlue, injected by the Bosch Denoxtronic system directly upstream of the SCR catalytic converter. It ensures compliance with the world's toughest emissions limits in California, as well as with the threshold limits of the coming Euro 6 standard. Every day, we continue to develop our clean diesel systems. Almost half of the approximately 3,000 patent applications we file annually are aimed at the protection of the environment and natural resources. Many of them will in future make diesel even cleaner and more economical than it is today, with correspondingly lower CO2 output. And the fun factor? We make no savings there, which is also evident in our world records in motorsports.
Bosch. Invented for life.